I don't know.
So
I'm lamenting.
yes, talking a little bit about Pauper.
Very challenging.
A format that none of us had really played before. What, 2 weeks ago?
Well, yeah,
or something?
just about 2 weeks ago is when I first started doing it.
When Bob realized he was poor.
Yeah, and I can't really afford drafts. All right, here we go.
Well, what do you do when you open a Grave Titan?
And
I think you take the Grave Titan.
and not to mention, you have the mind control and the,
right.
But
we take the Grave Titan.
You take the Grave Titan.
Yeah. That is a hell of a pack. Why can't we ever get this in sealed?
Never. I know.
What are we sending?
Well, we're sending blue. Or
and red.
Right.
I mean, look at Ice Cage, Incinerate,
Phantasmal Dragon,
three flyers,
Drake, the Pegasus,
and a Mind Control.
So the good thing is, Dusk Hunter Bats probably could be picked a couple. Like if someone gets this pack, they're going to take Mind Control, then they're going to take Incinerate, then they're going to take something else. So sending down the line, we're not actually probably going to have anyone picking black cards out of this pack. For a while.
I see.
So on the way back, in next pack, we might actually
That's a heck of a blue pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the upside, that may mean that multiple people end up going blue as a result, which will then weaken their blue later.
So knowing we're playing black, and even if we weren't for sure, Gravedigger would probably be the best card there. Frost Breath is close. I like Reassembling Skeleton.
Ooh, right, I was going to say, I like Reassembling Skeleton too.
But I think Gravedigger is just a little bit more powerful. And we're only drafting cards with Grave in the name. That's
wow, that's going to be tricky.
Interesting.
So the rest of this is dead too.
Pick a land. This, you can actually do a kind of interesting archetype in M12 is almost mono black.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to force it. You can pick up a little bit of burn or a little bit of something else, but
like one splash color and then go almost mono black.
And with that, Tormented Soul or Devouring Swarm
would be really good.
Really good. I might go with
the Fleetwing.
Fleetwing.
Or what?
I was going to say go with Devouring Swarm, because if you pair it with red, if you take Active Treasons as kind of your splash, then it can sacrifice the creature you steal. So Active Treasons become Doom Blades.
Neat. I like it.
And it's flight. There's not a whole lot of flight.
I like anything that's comborific.
Clearly, I don't know how to draft.
And there's nothing wrong with taking an even Fleetwing.
Here, I would say Giant Spider is actually more powerful than Drifting Shade, but because we want all of the black cards coming back in Pack 2, we take the Shade.
Fair enough.
Like, if we just send those signals that...
Black is off limits?
Yeah, black is off
limits. We're black and we're proud.
Then we should get it in Pack 2. And a Drifting Shade in a heavy black deck.
But we're just getting to the point now, though. But aren't we going to be passing up really decent cards and taking a bunch of crappy black cards now?
No, because you don't have to worry about taking crappy black cards, because crappy black cards will not draw people into playing black.
Right. So, like here, if we think we would want to play a little bit of red, a Goblin Arsonist is not bad. If we wanted to splash green, Arachnus Web could go.
Right.
Warpath Ghoul is actually pretty good in this format.
For the cost, yeah.
Just getting 3 power for 3. So I would be okay taking that.
Right.
If we wanted to pair with blue, Phantasmal Bear is way better than I ever thought it would be.
Really? You do have to target it.
Yeah, if you're targeting it, you're wasting a spell that, well, we're out of time, so I'm going to take the Warpath Ghoul. But most of the time, if you're going to shock it or something, you're spending something that would have been better spent otherwise. Here, let's go with the Vampire.
The Vampire.
Why not?
Duh.
Nothing that great. Unsummoned probably is more powerful.
I've seen so many people playing Goblin Bang Chuckers, and I was like, you got Goblin Bang Chuckers? What the fuck?
If you do it right.
Yeah. So are you saying Disentomb?
No.
No.
At this point, the black cards are not more powerful than...
So we think Monolith?
Monolith.
Probably Monolith, because we have a 6 casting cost. Coral Merfolk is actually not that bad.
2-1 for 2.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that one.
It's such a weird format, but just if you have a 2-drop and are attacking in and have any sort of removal, you can get 6 damage in with that 2-drop. we'll take the monolith because we do want to make sure.
There's your act of treason.
Right, and we take it.
Yep.
And right now, our biggest concern.
Hey, look, and you got your Dust Hunter bat.
Yep.
So
Tabled.
So far, you are absolutely correct.
Imagine
so
that.
we should get some serious black heading our way in the next pack. So
We should. Here, we can either take the Bone Breaker, assuming that we
Right.
might be playing red, Monobarb. There is a personal sanctuary going around, so someone
Yeah.
might get that combo, but I don't think we're going to worry about it. The best card is probably Stampeding Rhinos, but it won't make our deck.
No. So
Probably take the Giant. Here, Diabolic Tutor isn't that bad if you have something as good as Grave Titan.
that's true. If you have bombs in your deck, that makes it worth it. Even.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're right. It's not worth
And
it.
we're not going to have that many flying creatures,
Right.
so Plummet doesn't scare us.
Right. And nothing here matters.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Take that.
Huh, another Diabolic Tutor.
We could do that. We could do Distress. We probably won't play 2 Diabolic Tutors. I don't know if we'd play a Distress, but I'm
Sure.
okay taking it.
Okay.
And then Buried Ruin just
For no reason.
It's
Because why
For
not?
no reason.
okay. I don't know why I took that. It was a mistake.
How hard can it be to get this last one? It's not. You want not the land.
Yeah.
So now we see whether the
Grave Titan. We want 2.
That'd be wicked.
I actually don't want something that powerful because then when we lose in
It'd be
Swiss,
embarrassing.
Solemn Simulacrum.
Right.
Sweet.
and
Absolutely.
that is
I still want to.
take that.
I still want to slap the Solemn Simulacrum into a Mimic Vat.
We take that because it's
I kind of
worth
want to
some
put you
money,
into a Mimic
and
Vat.
it's
Really,
pretty
you
good.
want more than one of me?
Gravedigger is good.
Is that what that card does?
The Law Keeper is good. We'll take the Solemn.
You like this deck, John? Or are you like
I
I hate playing with these people. They fuck up my draft.
don't like that we have no removal. We have not
True.
picked up a Doomblade. We've not picked up the Soren's Thirst. Act of Treason might be removal if we happen to have Devouring Swarm out.
Right.
But it's early.
But the thing is, is just as we're cutting black hard, somebody else obviously cut red hard.
Right.
There was an Incinerate that went around.
Here, Warstorm Surge can be very bomby,
Yeah.
but it's situational.
Right.
BAL.
So at this
Yeah.
point, it's almost either another Devouring Swarm or the Skeletons.
Right. And that's kind of a tough pick. Like, the Skeletons are great with the Swarm because you can
Sure.
stack them multiple times.
Right.
Because we're so low early
We
on,
probably need the 2 cost.
yeah, we might need to have that
Yeah.
just so we can chump. At the same time, if we do, I don't think we're completely sold on red,
Right.
especially on a 1-drop because we might not have it in our opening hand. Let's take the Skeletons.
I dig it.
Hey, a Sengir
Sengir
Vampire. I
Vampire.
think that means that we may have done the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because otherwise, no way.
works out well for us. Here, there is
Jack and
Yeah.
shit.
both of them should up
Yes.
for the party.
Wow. Oh, I love Mind Unbound. I just read what that did
Yeah,
the other day. I was like, oh, that's a very quirky card. I
Yeah.
dig it.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Possibly, okay. The most useful card I would see in the 2 colors that we have picked so far is Slaughter Cry.
Sure.
It ends up effectively being removal because it's an aggressive format. People will block,
Right.
and if you can give +3 and first strike, your
You-
guy's
you
going
kill
home.
monsters.
Yeah.
In a grave.
So we'll take it.
Um,
Onyx Mage is
absolutely.
great for our deck. That
Yeah.
also makes even like a reassembling skeleton into
Very,
removal.
very, very dangerous.
Child of Night versus Bloodseeker is a
I don't know. I don't really give a crap about Child Knight. I think I like the Bloodseeker
Well,
because it punishes
the-
your opponent.
Sure, but the Child of Night is lifelink, and it's a 2/1, and it's a 2-drop. Which means that by the same argument that a Coral Merfolk is worth playing just because it's a 2/1, well, this is better than that.
it's patently better than that.
Who's Pat?
But I have no problem with taking something that punishes your opponent for putting out creatures.
Right.
I mean, you know.
Yeah,
The Suture Priest messed up people.
Well, I've never won a draft, so I'll defer to you.
Let's go Child of Night.
Because we got a vampire thing going on.
There's a Bloodseeker that might be
Source
tabling.
Thirst.
Sweet.
There was one that we passed. That
Zombie Infested. Mind Rot.
Mind
Not
Rot
bad.
is better than you'd think because it's an aggressive format. People start dumping their hand and then are sitting with a Grave Titan.
And then they don't have that.
And
either.
they can't do that, yeah. Another Vampire. He's a little fragile. We already have one, so I'd probably say Mind Rot.
How do you feel about the Zombie Infestation?
I don't
dig it.
Don't like it because
it's
two cards for a 2/2.
Yeah.
Sure.
You kind of have to have some sort of broken combo to make it worthwhile.
Zombie Goliath?
I don't know. I mean, for a 5-drop for 4/3, I'd almost say the Bone Breaker.
Right. Would get us an extra toughness. Elixir, if they have a super aggressive deck, can give you a little bit of extra life. I don't know. There's nothing that strong here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bone Breaker.
Okay.
And we did get that Bloodseeker back, so
cool.
That works well for us.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the forest.
So take the Taste of Blood. Take the Bring of Disaster. I guess Bring of Disaster is technically removable.
Yeah. It's the most dangerous, and we will have nothing that can destroy enchantments.
Right.
And so if they were playing Brink of Disaster, it would be effective against us.
Yeah. Or if they're playing the dreaded Spirit Guide. Hexproof combo.
Yeah.
We're effed.
No, you just have to kill them first.
Unless you can erase them.
Well, yeah. We really are like a race to the middle at this point.
And some cards that I would love to see in this next pack, like Consume Spirit, since we're so heavy in black.
It's the Black Fireball.
Yep, but you're gaining life back with it.
Isn't that just like Drain Life then? Except this can hit creatures? Is that the difference?
Could Drain Life hit creatures?
Drain Life could hit creatures.
So Drain Life was just better.
I think it costs one more. Because it costs one black, one colorless, and then X.
Yeah.
But X can only be black.
Yeah. So it's the slightly more balanced version of Drain Life.
Right.
Sun Titan.
Seriously?
Bullshit. And a Consume Spirit.
And a
Incinerate.
Oh, man.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
That's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do there. Here's the thing. I think Consume Spirit might actually table. The Incinerate won't.
Right. And the Sun Titan...
But the Sun Titan, that's a freaking bomb.
Yeah, it's a bomb for someone else. I think we probably take Incinerate.
Really?
I think we do.
Okay,
wow.
Here's the thing. The Consume Spirit would kill the Sun Titan. Probably.
Right.
And the Incinerate could potentially do the same. And we're never going to be able to play the Sun Titan. We just have not drafted for that.
I know. I mean, I hate the entire idea, the thought process
passing a Titan
of passing a bomb
is not a good thing.
Oh?
I don't know.
Just, man, passing an Incinerate in the third pack, that very well could make the deck.
I think we take the Incinerate.
Oh, wow. That's like, you ripped off my left gonad there. Seriously.
Pleasant.
The right one was already missing. It's already artificial.
The only card here that would make our deck currently is Arsonist, which wouldn't be bad. We don't have a 1-drop. If we ended up picking up, like, Stormblood Berserkers or something,
sure,
it would be nice to have a 1-drop who can start attacking.
Oh, by the way, the guy who got the Sun Titan, you're fucking welcome. Asshole.
Smallpox?
Chieftain is probably... Smallpox...
Is it hard to use?
It hurts you so bad also.
Right.
Probably Warpath Ghoul.
Really?
Chieftain's just going to... Because it has double red.
Right.
And we don't have enough goblins to consistently get our grenade off. So I think the Ghoul...
Yeah. It's been a while since the last time I got my grenade off, too. It's been a long time.
Let's see.
Dark Favor.
Dark Favor.
You were talking up Turn to Frog earlier, weren't you?
Turn to Frog is awesome.
In a previous draft diary.
Yeah. Turn to Frog actually.
Chandra.
Surprisingly
But we
good.
can't really take it.
There are 5 cards here that I would like.
Gorehorn, Chandra, Onyx, Crumbling Colossus,
Drifting Shade, and Tormented Soul. It's not the most powerful, and we don't have that many Bloodthirst, so it's probably not worth it. But getting something out early, like if you go that into a Dusk Hunter bat,
yeah,
it can be a pretty nice start. We have a lot of 3-drops, so if we get to 4, Gorehorn, there's a good chance it's going to be enabled.
right.
I think we take the outrage.
I think you have to.
It's double red, it's a little bit risky, but I think we take it. It's removal.
We're just so
We're light
desperate.
on removal.
We're desperate.
And
Hey, Deathmark.
because of that, Deathmark has
That's
some added
so
value.
much value to us.
Yeah, because someone's getting all the good green and white creatures.
Absolutely. Someone's got a Sun Titan.
Devouring Swarm also has a lot of value to us.
Yeah.
But
I
I think we take the Deathmark.
absolutely. It's the
We do
ultimate.
know there's a Sun Mark or a Sun Titan out there.
Yeah.
Right.
That we would very much like to have die to a.
And there's another Deathmark,
Ugh.
but I think we take the Blood Ogre.
Oh man.
Because if we end up playing against a blue-black deck,
Sure.
this card's meaningless. Crown of Empires would be nice also. It's
But it's slow.
semi-removal. But we have enough 2-drops that we can get him activated, and
Right,
he's
right.
just really hard to deal with.
Dusk Hunter.
Dusk Hunter
bat,
bat.
absolutely.
Easy pick there.
Oh, Tormented Soul
Tormented
at this
Soul
point, right?
table. Excellent.
Do we need? We don't need beef.
I think I'm just going to cut the...
The coral.
Yeah, so they have one less
You
early.
bastard.
Uh,
I'm just gonna
do
cut
we-
the Vandal. I'm gonna cut it!
Actually, we want them to destroy the Solemn. But I'll take the Manic Vandal in case they have a good artifact. We could sideboard it in.
Right.
And by that same token, I guess if
Sure.
they have some enchantment we just can't beat, we could use our Monolith to cast a Naturalize.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah.
At that point, we could also just concede.
Yes.
Because we've already given up on life.
Yep. What's not going to make our main? Those ones for sure. Probably Bonebreaker Giants won't. Ooh, that's a tough one. Heavy black, so the shade's going to be huge.
We have a lot of bloodthirst things at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's active.
I mean, not like a lot, but enough that
where early damage is relevant.
Right.
So you've been doing all these effing drafts. So what do you think is probably the biggest surprise of the format to you?
The biggest surprise of the format is that creatures like Coral Merfolk or Grizzly Bear,
They're not automatic write-offs.
Yeah, they're not write-offs, and they actually play valuable roles. It also surprises me that Phantom creatures are as powerful as they are. Phantasmal Bear will often get in 6 damage before they end up wasting some spell that they could have done something useful with,
Right.
killing a 2/2.
sure.
Or they'll trade with it. I mean, they put down a creature that doesn't have that, and they'll block and just trade. And you're like,
Right.
well, fine, because mine was going to be vulnerable to so
Sure.
many things. Okay, we know we want the Grave Titan.
Yep. Senior
Senior.
Vampire.
I disagree.
Diabolic
Let's wait.
Tootler, maybe.
Tootler?
It's the Diabolic Tootler.
Tootler, I hardly know her.
I'll drink to that.
And so it
The
begins.
Shade will be powerful.
Devouring
Devouring
Swarm,
Swarm.
for sure.
Probably those Warpath Ghouls.
Yeah.
I think they just fit what our deck is trying to do fairly well.
Hit the opponent in the face and make them die.
Mind Rot is possible. I'm going to bring down him because I know I want him to. Possibly the Blood Rage Vampire, because if we do have enablers, then it's technically better than Warpath Ghoul. Sorin's Thirst, absolutely.
Mhm.
Bloodseeker, probably, absolutely. I'll put him in the maybe. pile.
Yeah.
Dusk Hunter, Onyx Mage, Reassembling Skeleton, Child of Night.
Child of Night!
Both of our Tormented Souls. Deathmark is a hard call on
it's a
whether to
sideboard.
main deck it.
Yeah, that's a sideboard card.
And I think we're going to have enough strength.
Yep.
Before, I have played it like a 23rd, 22nd card in the deck. If I don't have all of these things that I want to play.
Sure.
Because you will run into, if you go anywhere in the draft, you will run into a white or a green deck.
Yeah.
We're playing Swiss, so we have 3 rounds. We're going to run into it.
Playing Swiss?
Yep.
I'm out of here.
The Outrage is a little bit expensive.
But they're only expensive.
Means we may want to run the Monolith also to get to our top-end cards.
Sure.
Incinerate, Blood Ogre.
But what about the Act of Treason?
And we have 1 Devouring Swarm.
Is that not worth, or is it worth it just to have because of its normal utility?
Right. That's tough. It might be, even if we can't pair it with a Devouring Swarm, it gets a blocker out of the way.
Right, or for our uses, is Slaughter Cry better than
a
the Act
better
of Treason?
play than Act of Treason.
I would argue that maybe Slaughter Cry is better, but I don't know if either one needs to go in the deck.
Right. Well, we're at 17.
And 14 creatures.
So we have 6 more spots to fill our deck. Because of that, I think it's okay for us to go ahead and get that Monolith. And then Dark Favor, since we have 2 Tormented Souls,
Would be huge.
can win games. It's very much like Blighted Agent and
anything.
Piston Sledge.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't answer it, you win. Because we have 14 creatures, I think Mind Rot gives us something that we don't already have. So I would put in Mind Rot, and then of these creatures, I'd pick 2 or 3 of them, I think.
Okay.
That we include. Let's see what our curve is.
So maybe all three of the 3 drops.
We definitely want that because we should be getting Bloodthirst.
Right.
If we go there, does Bloodseeker give us enough of something different that it would be more valuable?
The one thing that I could see it being beneficial is it makes your opponent think.
Right. I think if you can make your opponent hesitate, or do I have to put, especially if they've got to put something down to chump block and they're feeling the pain at the same time.
Right. Bloodseeker, although he's a 1/1, has a lot of power in the late game. Whereas a Warpath Ghoul doesn't.
Right. A Bloodseeker early is not as powerful because they've still got a handful of removal.
Right.
But they've used a bunch of
life.
Right. But they've used a bunch of their removal, and you're already getting some creatures on the board.
Right. And I don't know if we make it to the late game, ideally in our deck, but I think the Bloodseeker, since we just put in 2 kind of 3-drop leaders, this gives us something different.
Yeah. I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of the Bloodseeker.
I am too. So, something else that I've picked up on by watching other people's videos is that they...
you watch other people's videos?
Well, I haven't this month.
Traitor.
Because all I've been doing is play.
I don't watch other people. I only watch yours.
Oh, well.
Alright, so.
Sell out.
Which probably means I don't win.
Right, well, you've never won. Something they do is they pull out they put their creatures up here and non-creatures down here. Because most of the time, although like Monolith you'd probably cast on turn 3, most of the time these things you're not going to cast when you get to that. Right.
I see.
So it gives you a better idea of what your curve
actually is
for turn 1, turn 2, turn 3.
That's way too deep.
That's genius.
Yeah, makes some sense. And Dark Favor is kind of like, if you have a Tormented Soul, you might, but I often just take all of them down here and I just look at my creatures. Because
that's not a bad curve, is it?
Creatures are typically going to win you or lose you the game. It says 14 and 3.
Considering the lack of depth of black, I would say that you could easily go 1 down on that and 1 up.
Hey nerds, while you're down here nerding it up, apparently the internet is mourning Steve Jobs is leaving Apple. He just announced it, so I'm just bringing you guys back to reality for a minute.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Did we hold on? Did we sell all of our Apple stock yet? Okay, we need to do
What
that
Apple stuff?
first. We need to do that first thing in the
We'll
morning.
buy some quickly and then sell it.
Yes,
Sell it,
buy
so
them now.
Try and lose some money.
Too late.
Okay, yeah, we only have 3 red cards. 4 will get us a little bit closer to Chandra's Outrage plus the Monolith.
Yep.
I think that's good.
All right.
So we say done, and let's submit.
Fingers crossed. Whacker's out.
I have a good feeling about this one.
That's the last thing.
It's